Hello friends, so today we can discuss the problem C from the latest Codeforces round 667, problem name yet another array restoration. So you have a secret array and you actually have to restore that array. But for restoring that array, you know some different facts about that array. The facts are the array consists of n distinct positive numbers such that everything is greater than 0. Okay, now the array consists of two elements x and y. So in that whole secret array you are given two elements x and y such that y is greater than x. And also if you sort that array in increasing order, as you have seen like this, the difference between any two adjacent elements is equal. Okay, so that's the three facts you know about this array. Now it is proven that such an array always exists under the following constraints which are given. And then what you have to do here is, because there are a lot of arrays which can satisfy these conditions, so we have to restore the one which is the minimum possible maximum element. So if you write down all the elements of that array which are n, the maximum number is minimum possible. So you have to restore that array, and that's the whole answer. So what you can do, you have to find out that you have t independent test cases. So the main important thing to see in this question is the constraints. Constraints are very small. So what you can do here is, let's first find out that there is some series, or we can first understand this example. As you can see here is, in the second example there are 5 integers and 20 and 50 are present in this series. As you can see, 20 and 50, and 50 is the maximum element in this. Okay, and you can also make some series such that it is 20, 50, difference between this is 30, so 80, then difference between them is 80, so it is you can add 30 to it, 1110, 114. So these are also 5 elements in which the difference between every two consecutive elements is same when they are sorted, and 20 and 50 are present in this array. But because 140 is a very large number, you can also form a series in which just 50 is the largest element among all the elements. And thus you can understand here is that this is not the answer, because though this is a valid integer sequence, but the answer is just this. Now how you can find this out? The constraints are very small. So the thing can be, let's assume that there is some sequence of length 5. Now there can be such a scenario that x is present here, y is present here, and there are some rest integers. Or the scenario can be that there is some x, there is some y, and there is some integer in between, and so on. So because n is very small, you can iterate over every possible combination of x and y. X can be here and y can be here, and then what you can do here is, you can after finalizing x and y, you can restore all the other elements in this sequence. So for every position of x and y, you will do this iteration n square, because finalizing x and y, and then finalizing x and y, you will again do an iteration from left to right to restore all the elements. You will do another iteration for n. So total number of iteration or total number of combination is n cube. So that's the first logic you have to understand. Okay, so now we can understand how to fill that array using fixing x and y. So let's assume that we fix x and y here, or we can understand this with this example, which is very simple, 20 and 50. So finalize or make an array of size 5. There are 5 empty spaces. Now let's assume that we fix 20 here and 50 here. Now if this is the sequence, because every two elements has the same sequence, it is just like an AP. You know the first term of AP, then cannot you find out the rest of the terms of AP if you know the difference. You just have to find out the first term and the differences. The difference can be, if this is the term, this is the second term, this is the first term. The difference between can be the second term minus the first term upon how many terms you have taken. So it's just the difference between 30 divided by 1, which is actually don't have to take 2, because this is the first element. So they divide 30 by 1, which is equal to 30. So this will give you now this is the difference. Now keep on adding from 20, 30 for all the elements. So this is 30, which is 50, then 30, so it will be 80. So again 30, which is 1 and 10, and 30, 1, 4. So now this sequence is built. Now if you have built one sequence, what you can do, check that okay whether the maximum element is the maximum I have seen till now. If this is the maximum I have seen till now, store this array somewhere else as like B. Now again delete this whole array, delete this whole array and start the procedure again. In this, now 20 is here and 50 is here. So what you can see here is difference between them is 30, but the distance between them is now 2. Okay, which is equal to 15. So what you can, and it's actually equal to 15, yeah. So the next element can be 35. And then it is 50. And then again 50, so like 65. And then again, so it's 0, 80. So now as you can see, now 80 is the next element, maximum element. So which is the smallest then which I have seen, because the smallest till now it is 140, but now I have seen 80 which is even smaller. So now store this somewhere else and now take 20 and 50 at this position. So now 50 come at this position and you have to iterate, and so now the difference between them is 30 and this is 30 again. So now this is 10. So now filling them, it is like 20, 30, 40, 50, okay, and like 60. And so now you understand, okay, now there's 60, so 60 is even smaller, so now store this and so on. Now you will take 20 at this position and now 50 at this position, that case will also come. Now the main thing here can be, because you are only filling from left to right, but now let's assume that there is a case, because I'm assuming 20 is the first element of the sequence. So that 20 element, like 5 elements, and 20 is at this position and like 15 at this position. What you can do here is you can fill that, okay, the first element is this element 20, this element is 50, so the difference between them is 15. So you can fill 35 here, but now you have to also check that, okay, go to the left of this, even there are some white spaces here also. So now if this is 20, this is the difference between them is 15, so this element is 15 minus this element, which is 5. Now it is more 15, so it is minus 10. Now because every element should be greater than or equal to 0, this sequence is invalid. I hope you understand. Though this element or series consists of 20 and 50, but the minimum element is minus 10, which is not possible because every element should be distant, but element should be greater than or equal to 0. Greater than 0, sorry. So this sequence is not possible, so we will not count this sequence. And thus we will iterate over all possible sequences and store the sequence which has the minimum possible maximum. I hope you understand the logic part. Let's move on to the code part now. So the code part is also, in this what you will do, first take the input of x and y, take two arrays A and B, and then what you will do, B will store out the maximum possible scenario, like the scenario in which the maximum element is the smallest, and A is the sequence in which we will iterate. If n is equal to 2, like only 2 elements are there, which you have seen in the first example, if there is only 2 elements, then you just fill out those 2 elements and that's the answer. You don't have to do any some iteration. So the thing is, if n is equal to 2, just fill the final array with the first element is x and the second element is y and print out those elements, and the answer is this. Else what you can do, because you have to find out the range in which the last element is the last element is maximum and it is the smallest possible. So what you can do, you can initialize the last element of this sequence with a very large number, such that, because if it initializes with 0, this is the minimum possible now, like this number will not change, because I want to find out the value which is maximum but it is minimum possible. So I have initialized this with a very large number, the last element of this B. Now what you will do, you will iterate over two loops I and j. I is for x and j is for y. Then fill x and y at these positions, and then find a difference between these two positions and the distance between these positions. If this distance is divisible by d, then only this difference is possible. I have also not told you one more step. Let's assume that in this step also there is two cases in which this is 20 and this is 50, and the difference is 30, between them is 30, and the distance is 4. Now 4 cannot divide this number properly, so you cannot find out some integer values to place there, and thus this series is also not possible. You don't actually have to iterate and fill this series, because you cannot fill this series with point numbers, and thus that's also not possible. So that's what I've done. We have to first check that okay, this distance should be divisible by this difference, or difference between divisible should be divisible by this difference d, and then if it's divisible by, we will get the difference actually. Then what you will do, you will start from I as a starting element, so you have to fill out all the elements which are left to I and also which are right to I. So for all the elements which are right or left to I minus 1, you will iterate over all those elements, and the kth position of that element is the k plus 1 element minus the difference which I have told you. If we are going left to the I, it is just that element minus the difference. If we are going right to the I, it is that element plus the difference. And that's what we are storing here. And then what we will do after filling those array, what we have to check that okay, the first element should be greater than 0. Then only we have to take that array in the final case. And also if this is greater than 0 and the last element of the series which we have made, which is stored in A, if the last element is less than the last element of B, which will store out the global array or the global among all those arrays which we have filtered out, if that element is less than the global value, then we will make our B equal to A. We will store that A value or the A array which we have computed in this B, and B will store out the maximum or the global array in which the maximum value is the smallest possible. And then after doing all this iteration, we will just print out the value of B, because B will store all the array elements. I hope you understand the logic as well as the code. Still any doubts, please mention down. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Keep coding. Bye.